Welcome back to another episode of TY24 Sports. TY24 Sports. This is gonna be a quick show since it's so late. You see the title, College Football Week 7. We got a lot of big matchups. Of course, you got the Ohio State and Oregon matchup tonight. You got Florida and Tennessee. You also got Ole Miss LSU. You got a big game with Louisville today in the ACC. You got all kind of big matchups. You're going to start off with Georgia Tech and NC State at noon in a little while. But let me hit you guys off with the picks right away. So we're going to take Alabama money line. We're going to take Washington money line, Rutgers money line, Toledo money line, Oklahoma plus 14.5 against Texas. We got USC plus 7.5 against Penn State. Got Sanford plus 23.5. You got Pittsburgh money line, Louisville money line, UCF minus 3. Mississippi State against Georgia, I'm going to go plus 34.5. I got Florida plus 15.5 against Tennessee. We got Washington State money line, Oregon plus 7.5 against Ohio State plus bonus picks. So stay tuned for the bonuses as it says there. And also you see down at the bottom the Cash App. Please donate to the channel so we can keep it going. $ TY Rebel 22 on Cash App. $ TY Rebel 22. Please share and like and follow. Please share so that the channel can spread around. But we're gonna pull up the schedule in a second so we can see some more games and I can give you some bonus games. But also, since I promised you guys bonuses, these gonna be the first bonuses I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna give you a little bit of the other sports, the baseball, and let's see if we got some WNBA today. So these gonna be some of our live bonuses really quick. I'm gonna pull the other regular picks up in a second, but I just want to give you guys a couple of bonuses, so you guys know to stay tuned because you never know when we're gonna give you, player props and different things. Okay, so now with the Detroit Tigers game against the Cleveland Guardians today, I'm gonna rock with Detroit. I think I'm gonna rock with Detroit. I don't like the minus 1.5, so we're gonna stay away from that spread. I'll actually maybe go Cleveland plus 1.5. So I think it may be a 1-point game. I don't think it's gonna be too much of a big difference. And let's go Josh Naylor for over 1.5 hits. Over a half a hit. So basically Josh Naylor for a hit. Josh Naylor for a hit. So let that be a bonus. For the Cleveland Guardians, Josh Naylor for a hit. Let's go for that. Do we have any WNBA today? I know we got NHL, but we're kind of probably wait on the NHL depending on. Okay, so the basketball is tomorrow. So let me check out NHL. But these are going to be like bonuses. So now that we got more sports going, we got hockey going. Basketball will be next month. Look out for that too, and look out for me to stream more frequently. But please donate to that Cash App. Okay, so we got my Florida Panthers playing today. Let's take Florida Panthers money line against Buffalo in the NHL. And then also in the NHL, we got Boston going against the LA Kings. I'm not gonna pick a money line on that, but I'm gonna pick LA plus 1.5. So they won't lose by more than one goal. So I got LA plus 1.5, and I got the Florida Panthers money line. So that's NHL bonus picks. So let me go back to the regular picks, and we're gonna go over the college football schedule because I want to be kind of quick today, so you guys can put these picks in. It was a big upset last night with that Utah and who were they playing? Arizona State. Yeah, I stayed up and watched that, and so that's why I kind of was, up late this morning. Because my cousin plays for Utah, though he's injured or whatever. And shout out to Cam Rising. He kind of had a rough showing. I don't know if it's time to go to the young guy Wilson. He seems promising for next year. But I guess, they're going to stick with Cam Rising for the time being. He's earned that. He's been an all-conference guy. And, the old Pac-12. And he looked like an all-conference guy in the Big 12. It's just the Big 12 is a cannibalizing conference. It's a conference where everybody's beating up on everybody and everybody's out, for prey each week. You don't have to be better than somebody to actually, take them down. So don't be alarmed by what happened yesterday. But I don't know if you guys can see the screen. Okay, yeah, so it's up. So yeah, ABC at 12 o'clock noon, which is not too long from now, less than 30 minutes. We're gonna have Alabama and South Carolina. You see the line is minus 21.5. That's a lot. So I'm going Alabama money line. As far as a point spread, if I was going to take a point spread, see if we can get it to 13.5, and that's still kind of pushing it. I actually would want 9.5, maybe a 10-point win by Alabama, because the defense is bend don't break, and I feel like South Carolina is bound to bounce back sooner or later. You saw how they played against LSU earlier in the year. You saw how they played against just a lot of teams, that people probably thought, oh, this is South Carolina. They're just a pushover. That's Frank Beamer's son. That's Shane Beamer. So he's great with special teams. We've seen South Carolina. The only fortunate thing for Alabama is at home, and they're coming off a big loss. So I can really see, them trying to fight back. And as they say, Link, let a naysayer know. So they're gonna let all their naysayers know. They're actually selling merchandise with that saying on it for Alabama. So hopefully they can bounce back this week and they'll come up with a big win. Now we got Clemson and Wake Forest. Now I don't have that on my ticket, but you can obviously we'll go Clemson money line. Now as far as the point spread 21, you know what? Just to be safe, let's go Clemson minus 16.5. I'm sure they can win by 17 because Clemson puts up a lot of points. Florida State was just an outlier because Florida State is really trying to beat them last week, and Florida State's transitioning with a new quarterback. I feel like Florida State will be better next year. It's just they waited so long to switch quarterbacks. Now this Missouri game, 27.5 against Massachusetts. See if you can get that down to 20.5 or maybe like 21. I would say 20.5 because they are on the roll, even though it's a big gap. Now, in the 3:30 hour, we got Texas versus Oklahoma. Texas versus Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry. They got Texas minus 17. You can take Oklahoma plus 17. That's easily. That's not going to be a blowout. This is never a blowout. I had Oklahoma plus 14.5, but just take them plus 17 if they're giving you those many points. That's insane to me that they would even go that way. Okay, now Penn State and USC, they're going Penn State minus 3.5. I'm going USC. I'm going USC, but I'm gonna just go USC plus 7.5 just to be safe because you never know. Sometimes Vegas is right. Now with this Notre Dame game, so this is gonna be another bonus. Notre Dame and Stanford. I think I had Stanford plus 23.5 because that was the line. Now it's minus 22.5. So let's just go plus 23.5. And let's go. I don't want to money line it because you never know with Notre Dame and Stanford. Stanford has had some upsets earlier this year. They actually beat Syracuse. Okay, now you got Cal and Pittsburgh. This is a big one in the ACC because Cal, they had the upset against Florida State, but other than that, only loss is Miami, which is not a bad loss at all. And then you got an undefeated Pittsburgh team at home, which is minus 5.5. That's tricky, but I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh money line. I don't even want to do any type of points with that. Purdue and Illinois. Now this one is a bonus because it's not on the ticket. Purdue and Illinois. I believe in Illinois money line. Now that 22.5, that's a lot of points. Don't take that. Arizona and BYU, another big time Big 12 matchup. I would stay away from this one. If you're gonna do this, maybe Arizona plus 7.5, but you still might lose your money. This could be a blowout. This could go Arizona's way, BYU's way. I would just leave this alone. If you have to pick this game, do it as a single bet plus 7.5 Arizona. I'll just leave it alone. I would leave it alone. That's on the leave it alone list. Now we got Georgia and Mississippi State. Georgia and Mississippi State, you already see on the screen. I had Mississippi State plus 34.5. So let's leave it that way. If you're doing a ticket, obviously Georgia money line because they're going to win. Florida and Tennessee. Now with Florida and Tennessee, they got Tennessee minus 14.5. It was minus 15.5. Let's do Florida plus 15.5. And that's going to be about it. I wouldn't money line it because Florida actually, I think out of the last 19 times they've played, Florida is 17-2. And Tennessee's had some good years and they still couldn't beat Florida. They lost to Florida last year. A lot of people don't know. Florida was actually 5-2 going into the Georgia game last year. And then they just fell apart. So They're 3-2, possibly 4-2 or 3-3 going into Georgia. I believe next week or the week after. So Florida is not as bad as you think. It was more of a coaching thing than a talent thing. Now, Ohio State and Oregon. It's the big game of the day. They got Ohio State -3. I picked Oregon +7.5. I'm gonna stick with that. +7.5. I don't know who's gonna win that. I'm leaning towards Oregon. Now, Ole Miss and LSU. Obviously, I'm not gonna pick against my school. It's -3.5. That's too many points. It might be a 1-point game. I can see. So let's Ole Miss money line it. Let's just Ole Miss money line. So that's a bonus for you guys. All right, Iowa State and West Virginia. Iowa State and West Virginia. This is tricky. This is tricky. This could be a blowout, or this could be a loss. Let's just go Iowa State money line, but single bet it. I'm warning you, West Virginia can beat these guys. Okay, now Colorado and Kansas State. Now this one I fought with myself, but I'm gonna go Colorado. I don't know if they'll give me that. If it's -3.5, see if they'll give you Colorado +10.5 or +9.5. But don't be surprised if Colorado wins this game. I just know, you know what? Yeah, +10.5 or +9.5. Now, if you feeling froggy on a single bet, maybe money line Colorado, but they could lose this game. But I feel like the momentum is actually on their side. Even though Kansas State only lost one game, we saw what happened in Utah yesterday. I'm sure it's going to be some more Big 12 cannibalism. Big 12 is just a conference where nobody makes it out safe. You know, hopefully Iowa State does against West Virginia. But you see, I told you, kind of stay away from that one. But let's just go Iowa State money line if you have to. Now, Boise State in Hawaii. This is Boise State -20.5. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. They got the best running back in the country. He already has 1,000 yards through 5 games and 16 touchdowns. And he has played against big competition. He played against Oregon. I believe he still got UNLV. So it's not like he's playing chumps. He's just chumping everybody. Ashton Genty. He says if he doesn't get 2,000 yards rushing, he's cutting off his dreads. Them dreadheads, they don't really like to cut their hair. So I know he means business. Okay, and he got 7 more games to get another 1,000 yards plus the bowl game and the conference championship. So what he got, like 9 more games to do it, unless they go to the playoffs, because they count everything in college football. So he'll definitely get that 2,000. So long story short, let's go Boise State -13.5 because Hawaii can score points. So let's go Boise State -13.5. So that's going to basically be the picks for the day. We're kind of close to time, so I'm going to cut it a little short because I want you guys to be able to put in your picks. Let me see if I can give you guys another bonus for sticking around with me. I'm going to try to find another bonus for you guys that I think you guys might like. So just give me a chance. Let me look through the Hard Rock live as I'm looking. I'm going to give you guys another bonus pick that I'm sure you'll love, because Christmas time is coming. It's holidays are coming up. Once you hit Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas is right there around the corner. So you want to start stacking up and making those good picks. So another bonus pick that I'll give you guys. Let me see. I'm looking because I want to give you guys something that's good, something that's going to actually hit. See, I do Hard Rock, so you can't do player props with college football. I know you can do it with like those fantasy apps and different things, but I don't follow any of that stuff. Okay, so give me a second. Okay, now we got the Ball State and Kent State. We got no. Okay, I didn't do Georgia Tech in Carolina. Let's go Georgia Tech money line. Let's go Georgia Tech money line. So that'll be your bonus, Georgia Tech money line. So that's gonna be the show for the day. Please donate at $TY Rebel22. Put it back on the screen. $TY Rebel22 on Cash App, and also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at TY24 Sports. At TY24 Sports. Let me pull that up for you guys. At TY24 Sports. It's not popping up. Well, anyway, you guys know what it is. At TY24 Sports is down at the bottom. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. But yeah, basically, man, that's gonna be the show for the day. You guys got all my picks. There you go. Yeah. So if you go on all social media at TY24 Sports, I'll come up on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, everything. So the picks for the day on the ticket is, like I said, at Bama money line, Washington, Rutgers, Toledo, Oklahoma plus 14.5, USC plus 7.5, Stanford plus 23.5, Pittsburgh money line, Louisville money line, UCF -3, Mississippi State plus 34.5, Florida plus 15.5, Washington State money line, Oregon plus 7.5. And also the bonuses were the Florida Panthers money line and then the LA Kings in the NHL plus 1.5. So they won't lose by more than 2 goals. So that's going to be the show for the day. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and let's get some money.